Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Sorta Sophisticated. Come on. By now, I hope you guys know the drill. We research stuff for you, try to break it down into tiny pieces you can manage, hopefully memorize a fact or two, so that you feel like you're learning something instead of like doom scrolling, right? I'm Pete, and with me here is Amanda.
Hello, everybody.
Oh my God. And speaking of like doom scrolling, seriously, I was just in the bathroom like 2 seconds ago before I sat down here for 2 hours so I could actually get through today. Is it really true that like we're spending hundreds of $millions on Social Security for people like between the ages of 100 and 300 and like Donald Trump and Elon Musk are figuring all this shit out right now? Because I'm having a heart attack if that's even remotely true.
I don't know. I mean, I see a lot of people posting it, right? Advocating for it. And I see people saying that it's all fake.
It's fake news. It's fake news. I don't know if even part of that is remotely true. And
I mean, it's mildly terrifying.
It's unbelievable because you know my whole Social Security story in the first place, like with like the whole Gabby died and then we got like jack shit and didn't get anything and it's always stupid and terrible. So if like we're actually paying out to a corrupt system right now to dead people, I think I'm going to have a heart attack.
Right, because you're alive and you're not being able to claim it.
Right, and I don't want to turn this all political, but that's what happens when I doom scroll in the bathroom before I start my podcast.
I mean, your doom scrolling is pretty deep. That's dark.
I don't know. Well, it's what comes up on the feed, man. What do you want me to say? Right?
It's what you look at.
Holy crap!
It's the stuff you spend your time on.
You know
what you should spend your time on more?
What? Talk to me.
Sorta Sophisticated.
You know what I want to do? Do you know how? Stop laughing at me.
What?
Do you know what? Do you know how like we've made it? Do you know when we made it?
How?
I'll tell you when we made it. When I'm doom scrolling.
And you come up on your
and
own
some
feed.
shit comes up like right where it's like Sorta Sophisticated is coming up. That would be the best ever.
Do you doom scroll on your own personal account or do you doom scroll on Sorta Sophisticated?
No, I never doom scroll on Sorta Sophisticated.
Oh, okay. So you're.
But if I doom scroll on my personal account and like all these like first of all, if I came up, that'd be one thing, duh, because they know I'm connected somehow because you know the universe does that. But like then if I started getting all of like
like a repost,
like reposts or like stuff that we've already talked about that started coming, like then I know I'm like in the inner what do you call it, the interwebs?
You made it. Then
I'm
you're
in the
trending.
interwebs.
Then you're trending.
Right? Oh my God. Okay, fine. Speaking of trending, can we start today's episode, please? Because we're already off track and we're like 5 minutes into this thing.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
So do you know what's coming up?
There's a lot of things coming up. Your
the
birthday.
Academy Awards.
What?
Yeah, they're happening right now.
They are.
And
Let's go.
If we don't talk about them, we're missing the moment. And
we have to talk about them.
We do.
That is what we're going to do today. We are talking all about the Academy Awards, people.
Which you're going to have to educate me a lot about.
Well, considering I crammed all this into my brain in the last 48 hours, this is going to be fantastic. So
amazing.
We are going to be totally sort of sophisticated
Well,
today.
because truth be told, I go to an Academy Awards party every year, but I actually have no clue what's happening.
Do you bring a charcuterie like you do to Super Bowl?
Well, yeah, you get to pick. No, you get to bring like a little apathy thing to bring.
I do
but
not
usually
go to
it's
one.
by theme. So like,
oh my God,
you know, one year was like all gold, so then it had to have like tie-in with gold. Anyways,
do you know what you should do this year?
What?
You should all dress up as Cardinals and go as like all the College of Cardinals.
Just
like,
so
because
we
of
can
Conclave.
we can all
Yeah.
support Conclave. Okay, so before we all get up in our robes, can we do the word of the day?
Totally. Let's do word of the day. You got one?
I do.
Got one loaded? Let's go. What is it?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Canard.
Canard.
Yes.
Is that like retard?
You cannot say that. Now we have to edit that out. You can't say
that.
Why
do you, I don't like that you edit me out all the time. Listen, chill out. Like retard, like to hold back or retard progress. Not like retard. Like I'm not that bad. Relax.
I mean, you are, which is why I immediately assume bad.
That is by the way, that's totally fair. But in this case, I really meant to retard, to hold back.
Fine,
okay.
Fine. But no, it does not mean to hold back.
What does it mean?
It's actually a noun that means a false or misleading story. So a false or misleading story usually meant to deceive people.
Oh, wait. So like basically all the shit that leaks out about who's going to win Best Picture leading up to the Oscars? That's like one canard after another, right? I totally got this.
That's perfect.
Like I'm set. Like
yes.
I don't know how I'm going to. Okay, I got to figure out how to work this in. Okay.
Well, fair.
Right.
So without further ado,
So hold on a second. It's a noun. It's not like I can't say canarding or like canarded.
Correct.
Like, this is not a verb. Like
nope.
Oh my God. So I have to say like it's a canard.
Yes.
Okay. A false or misleading story. Okay.
Got
all right. I'm putting in there.
Okay. So without further ado, why don't we dive right into the Academy Awards then? Because it's definitely Hollywood's biggest night.
Oh shit.
For sure.
Totally is. All right, so can we do history? Because I love doing history first.
Yes.
Let's go. Okay. It started
Always.
all the way back in the 1920s, 1929 to be exact, people. For context, because I know we love our context. We were still in the middle of prohibition at the time. Like, do you remember prohibition? When no one was allowed to buy, make, or basically like transport alcohol anywhere? Amanda, 1929, women had barely gained the right to vote. We hadn't even hit the Depression yet. And fun fact, if you remember from our earlier episodes,
I probably don't.
Jimmy Carter was already 4 years old at the time. The dude was born.
Oh, actually, I do.
Let's
remember
go.
That. Yep.
Okay, there wasn't even sound in movies yet. Talkies, that's what they called them. Talkies, when the sound started coming in movies, they were just starting to take over. Like, can you imagine a world without sound in movies? Kill me. I wouldn't even want to watch the damn movie.
I mean, you would absolutely need to be killed.
No,
because
yes.
it would be awful for
But
you.
I mean, that's how long ago this started.
Okay.
Like, people like this almost 100 years.
Fair.
Okay.
Okay, I think you made your point.
Okay, fine.
Move on.
Okay, so it's May 16th, 1929, and Hollywood is this shiny, glamorous new industry. Okay, the sign had just gone up like 5 years earlier. Oh, another fun fact, Amanda, it was originally the sign that went up like Hollywood. It wasn't Hollywood. It was called Hollywoodland.
That seems so much cooler.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so listen. So it took like another 20 years before they ripped down the land part and just stuck with Hollywood.
Why would they do that?
Okay, I had to look this up. If you remember, Hollywoodland was originally a real estate advertisement for a housing development called Hollywoodland. That's so random. And it wasn't until 1949 that they took the land part down to represent the actual like district of Hollywood.
Huh.
Yeah,
Never knew that.
right?
And that's going to be the best fun fact because I actually hike once a year with my friends up there.
I've never gone there. It's on my bucket list.
You should. It's an easy hike.
I don't want to like
It's a good
get
one.
all like in your shit, but I want to go with you.
Well, you can come. You're invited.
Did I just push my way in?
Yeah, and then you're the one who can deliver the fun fact. And then you'll just be on the inner circle.
Fun fact. You know, there's something I don't know though.
What?
I have no idea like how did Hollywood get adopted as like the movie industry of the world? Like did they just
I
like
don't know.
right? Did like movie studios just start showing up in a Hollywood district and then it became synonymous with Hollywood? Like that
We're going to have to episode.
Can you Google that shit?
Right now?
Well, yeah, like look it up so we know we should know the answer of like how like why did the movie industry specifically end up in Hollywood? Okay, you look that up. Okay, I'm going to keep going.
Okay,
I'm going to get back. Okay.
Okay,
All right. Where was I?
Somewhere around the 1920s?
Okay. All right. So it's 1929 and everyone is obsessed with movies. And the studios are cranking out films. But at this point, that's sort of all they got. They hadn't figured out how to celebrate like the best of the best. Like no red carpets, no golden statues, no super awkward political speeches. Thank God. I wish I lived back then. Then out of nowhere, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which had just been founded a couple years earlier, decides they want to throw a banquet and honor the best films of the year.
And let me guess, they didn't just hand out certificates.
No
Of
way.
course not.
Dude,
Couldn't it be basic?
way too boring. Right. They went big. Like everybody has to do like big, right? Big. They decided to create an award. Duh. But not just any award. Oh my God. Wait, hold on. Do you remember A Christmas Story?
Yes.
Like the leg lamp when it gets delivered and Ralphie's dad's outside staring at
Fragile.
it. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Whole neighborhood comes by. So, and someone asks him, what is it? And he's out there on the curb and he goes, why? It's a major award. That's, I have no idea why I just thought of that. That's hysterical. Like that's the first Academy Award. It's a major award. Let's go. Okay. Nothing could take me away from the soft glow of electric sex gleaming in the window, people. Oh my God. Best part of the movie. Anyway. Okay. That's like what I know. Don't get into my brain. That's
Talks
just
about
how,
tangents.
Right. That's how I think of what the Academy did. They probably were like, oh my God, leg lamp. Okay, we'll do an award. Okay, anyway. So they made this little golden statuette that would become the most iconic symbol in Hollywood, except it was like a whole body instead of just like a hot, sexy leg and fishnets, I guess. And they called it the Academy Award of Merit. But of course, we all know it as the Oscar.
Fair enough.
Right?
But I do have a question.
What? Did you ChatGPT? Do we know the answer to the ChatGPT?
We don't yet.
prompt?
But I
Okay.
do have a question. So the Academy Awards is the same as the Oscars?
Totally.
Oh.
The Academy Award is the same as the Oscar is the name of the statuette.
But we always call it the Oscars.
Yeah. I mean, it's shorthand.
Huh.
Because we lazy.
I'm now a little more sort of
Yeah,
sophisticated.
totally. Right. I know.
But I guess you gotta go big or go home because
You know,
those
right.
statues obviously were a big hit because now
That's
they're known
iconic.
as
Absolutely.
the Oscars.
Okay, so they basically go all out and they plan this whole extravaganza, statuettes and all, and everybody dresses up and meets at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel to party like it's 1999, people. Let's go, Prince. Shout out. Well, I guess more like 1929, not 1999. You get the idea. Okay, the first one was a private dinner with about 270 people. Tickets cost $5 $5. Can you imagine? Amanda, see the first Oscars. That's it. Like, they even sold tickets. I don't even think they sell tickets anymore. The whole thing lasted 15 minutes. Like, the awards part, not like the dinner part. And like, they just got up after dinner and announced the winners, and like, that was it. It was done.
It's crazy.
No pomp.
That is crazy.
No pomp, man.
Because there's so much pomp and circumstance now.
I know there is, right?
Okay, wait, but hold on.
What?
Did the original Oscar back in 1929 look the same as the one today?
It totally did. Yes.
Okay.
Like, almost exactly. Like, I was surprised when I was looking this up.
That makes me like it a little more.
Yeah. Okay. So they made the design just like a little more decorative now, and made like the base a little bigger to like fit more shit. But like, otherwise, same. It was designed, not that you asked, but by some dude named Cedric Gibbons, and sculpted by some other dude named George Stanley. So the original statue featured a knight holding a sword standing on a reel of film with 5 spokes representing the original branches of the Academy: actors, directors, producers, technicians, and writers. And really the only main difference between now and then is that the early ones were made of solid bronze and were gold plated. And today they're made out of something called Britannium. I had to look that up. I guess it's like a pewter-like alloy. Whatever. Thank you, ChatGPT. And then plated in 24 karat gold. But the overall size and shape haven't changed since literally its inception in 1929.
That's amazing. You know me, I love my little history.
There it is.
That's very
cool.
cool.
That's the best fun fact.
Okay, but that didn't make me have another question.
Okay, what?
So how did...
Do you know if you didn't have questions, I don't even think we'd have a podcast. Like, this is excellent.
Yeah,
I'm glad that this works this way.
I'm glad that I come in so naive for you.
Well, I mean, because sometimes you do some serious ass research, and then sometimes you come in and you ask a question. I love it. Okay, go ahead. What
we all have our strengths.
Right.
I have more weaknesses. It's fine. How did the Oscar get its name? And why didn't they just keep the Academy Award of Merit as the name?
Because that would be the dumbest name in the world.
Or did it just like...
Who wants to win the Academy? Here, Amanda, you just won the Academy Award of Merit.
Oh, well, okay, drop the of merit, maybe.
It's a major award, because you could still say you won an Academy Award. But it sounds like, it sounds so high school, the Academy Award of Merit. You're on the dean's list. Okay.
Was Oscar someone's name?
Yes.
Oh.
So here we go. 2 theories. Okay, so the first one is Betty Davis named it after her first husband, Harmon Oscar Nelson Jr. That's sort of speculation. There's no real history there. Like, that one sort of popped up and was like gone. Like, I couldn't find a lot more on that. And the other more popular theory is that some lady named Margaret Herrick, who apparently was the Academy's librarian, thought the original statuette looked just like her Uncle Oscar, except, of course, kind of like a miniature and gold-plated version of her Uncle Oscar, because he wasn't only like 18 inches tall or whatever. You get the idea. And then the name sort of stuck from there, Uncle Oscar.
Okay, hold on, but 2 things.
What?
First, Uncle Oscar must have been in pretty good shape and easy on the eyes.
Oh my God, seriously, right?
Because look at that like statue.
Yeah, I know.
It's very fit.
Yes.
Okay, but also 2.
He's very sculpted.
He is very sculpted. That was good fun.
Right.
Okay, wait, but number 2.
What?
Have you actually like looked at an Oscar?
No.
Looked at it?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I have looked to see if it has genitalia, and it does not.
Oh, okay.
So
have you looked at
that's
its
the only
face
place.
then?
That's the
have
only
you looked
place.
at his face?
No.
Because it could be anybody, right? It's not defined at all.
It doesn't just look like Oscar?
No, it's just
It
like a bulb.
doesn't look like Uncle Oscar?
Like a bulb, like a light bulb.
So wait, so I have a question then for you. What the hell is this Margaret Herrick? She must have thought her uncle was did she have
Probably
a crush?
just the body.
Did she have a crush on her uncle?
Maybe.
I'm
having the body.
having a minute right now, right? She's like, "Oh my God, look at oh my God, he looks so fantastic." That's totally Uncle Oscar. Dad, can we go to Uncle Oscar's house again? All right, sorry.
That is horrible.
Okay, either way, I would think Uncle Oscar was like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something, right? Seriously.
It's not that jacked.
No, that's true. Sylvester Stallone? I don't know. Jean-Claude Van Damme? I'm not one of those guys. Okay. And by the way, total random fact. Guess who we have to thank for like making the word Oscar stick? Like, I mean, I know Margaret Herrick was like the person that like sort of named it, but like then it's got to stick, right? Like, guess who we have to thank?
Do I know this person?
You totally know this person.
I
You
do.
go visit his land
No way.
all the time.
It was Walt Disney?
It was Walt Disney.
What?
Yes.
How?
Right. Because he totally called it an Oscar during his acceptance speech for The 3 Little Pigs in 1934. And because he was like Walt Disney, people were like, okay, we're going to call it an Oscar from then on. So like Margaret Herrick names him, and then Walt Disney kills it.
Huh.
There we go.
I
Right.
mean, not well enough.
Who would have
Because
known?
I just learned Academy Awards and Oscars are the same today.
Oh my God.
Oopsies.
And you go to an Academy Award party. You're a terrible human.
I do. But also, I told you I didn't pay attention, so there's that.
Sorry. You know what? I'm making all this up anyway. This whole episode is
So I shouldn't bring any of this
it's
up.
a total canard.
Okay.
I'm making the whole thing up. I had to look at it
Good job.
somewhere.
Good job.
All right, anyway, go ahead.
So when Walt won, was there categories back then? Or was it all just a free for all? Like
No, totally. They were totally organized from the get-go. Like the first Academy Award had 12 freaking categories already. Like 1929. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, all the good ones, right? But they did do it a little different. They didn't announce all the names and then pick the winner that night in front of everybody. Remember, it was like only 15 minutes. The winners were actually announced 3 months before the ceremony, and they just got a phone call. And did they get a phone call? I don't even know. Did the telephone exist?
I was just going to ask that.
Right. Maybe they got a text. Well, not a text, but you know what I mean. Whatever. Pony Express showed up at their house. I have no idea. But basically, they knew what was going on. There was no suspense, no weird looks on the TV when they lose. They just like that was it. Like they knew. And then they just showed up, and then they were like, yay, you win.
But can you imagine how anticlimactic that must have been?
I know. Totally, right?
I mean, I love the old Hollywood vibe, though. Like all the glitz and the glamour. Did it start getting pretty crazy soon after that, or did it take a little while?
No. It like basically got big like pretty fast. Like this wasn't like a whole run up or anything. Like at first it was just that small industry event, like I sort of explained earlier, but it took like, I don't know, 10 years maybe. And by like 1940 already, it had started to become like a big deal. It started being broadcast on live radio because no TVs yet. Shout out to Christmas Story yet again. Little Oakley Annie show. And then TV came along in the 1950s, and just like everything else we talk about, it went bonkers.
The TV.
Yes,
did everything.
TV did everything, right? Well, it's kind of like the cell phone, and then it's kind of, well, it's like the computer. Let's start with that. Cell phone, right? Then now AI. Like, I mean, they have these things that are just, they're bonkers. Okay.
So how many people were watching back then? Millions?
Yeah. Viewership shot up pretty quick. In 1929 was a few hundred people, like I said, but by the 1950s, millions were watching on TV, and by the 1960s, it was like global already.
Well, I'm kind of guessing that it didn't take very long before all the fashion and the drama started getting involved, because now it's televised and people are invested.
For sure. Red carpet started in the 70s, and everyone started trying to outdo each other with like all their outfits, like during the disco era, right?
Or like fast forward today with the non-outfits.
Oh my God, totally. Right? Yeah. By the way, don't even get me started.
All the boobies.
Don't get me started on that, because I would argue people should go to jail for that, because that's indecent exposure.
Right.
But because everybody likes it, nobody does anything about it.
But like if somebody was walking down the street in that, it wouldn't be acceptable.
Well, let me tell you. So, well, you're going to appreciate me for a moment, because normally I'm a misogynistic asshole. I understand that. And you do an excellent job trying to make me a better human, and I really appreciate that. But I will tell you, like, whenever I see that, I do not get excited. Like, I get frustrated because I do not think that they should have a separate sort of, like, what do you call that? Like, not status. Like, they shouldn't have a separate standard for, like, people in Hollywood get to dress a certain way, and somehow that's acceptable to show on I mean,
we're showing on television to everybody.
Imagine
right?
your kids are watching.
Right.
Like, it's completely unacceptable, because you're absolutely right. If there was a woman walking down the street and she was totally nude, she would be brought up on charges for indecent exposure or like public drunkenness or whatever it is. Like, it's totally bullshit to me. I do get super angry, and we just overlook it. Like, oh, it's no big deal. They're allowed. Fair. I hate it. Okay, there.
I like it.
PSA.
Like your little soapbox.
Over.
Rant.
I'm done. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Time out. Can we pause? I know
that's your first timeout. You have 2 timeouts remaining. 2 full timeouts remaining.
Okay, fair. But can we talk about the hosts?
Yeah. What about the host?
Like, can we talk about how that whole thing kind of just got started? Because now it's just a whole nother level.
I think that's wonderful, because I already talked too much. Your turn, and I need a drink. I have an idea. I'll drink. You give us the details and the history behind all of the hosts that you speak of. Is that a deal?
Okay, fair.
Okay, go.
But not all the hosts. Just a few in particular. Is that okay?
A few of your faves. Okay. Whatever.
Or standout-ish.
I'm just going to be drinking over here. Go.
Okay, fine. So back to the beginning. The first Oscars in 1929 didn't actually have a host. So it was a straightforward...
It was hostless?
Well, I mean, it was a straightforward announcement of just who the winners were, right? But then...
Snooze fest.
That's what we called it at the very beginning.
Oh, my God. Fine. Kill me.
So then in 1930s, they brought in an MC to kind of make things entertaining. And do you want to guess who the first host was at this time?
Yeah, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I hate when you do this to me. You always like to embarrass me. I have no idea.
That was a pretty good guess.
Right.
No, but really.
Right. Sure. They're ringing Walt Disney.
I'm like, was
it Walt Disney?
No. Okay, well, the real host was Will Rogers.
What?
Yeah, 1934.
Let's go, Will Rogers.
Right, so you're right there. You did it. Okay, so ever since then, it became a tradition to have a big name comedian or actor kind of run the show.
So kind of like a whole variety show. Dude, we're still doing this in 2025? Let's go. That's so old school. I mean, I don't like let's get on the train of doing something new and different.
But it's not really a variety show at all.
No?
But you got to remember, the host job is to set the tone for the whole night and keep the audience engaged so they don't get too full of themselves and still somehow make the whole thing feel like a celebration of cinema. It's not just about cracking jokes. It's really about honoring the art form.
Okay, that's a fair point. I mean, like, they have to hold the whole thing together.
It's a big deal.
Yes,
right?
okay, but, like, let's be real. Some hosts, like, they've totally bombed, right?
Absolutely. There have been some legendary flops, but there have also been some really iconic ones too.
Wait, okay, now I want to know. Who's the best and who's the worst?
I mean, the best is probably Billy Crystal.
I loved him.
Or maybe Ellen DeGeneres when she ordered pizza for the whole audience. Do you remember that?
I don't, but did she order pepperoni? And I totally wish I was there.
I actually want to know what she ordered.
We should.
I'm
oh my
very
God.
curious.
What are we going to do?
All
We're going
the
to end up
random
chat
shit.
GPT in this whole freaking episode,
All
right?
the random shit.
Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, what was the worst?
Probably the worst was Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy. What was this, like 2013?
So I'm biased because I sort of like Seth MacFarlane, but I do remember this like actual like Academy Awards, and it was pretty bad. Like he went over the top. I don't
It
want
was
to get
just
all
a little
into
much.
It was too much. Okay, so thanks for that little lesson. I feel more sophisticated now on best and worst.
I mean, it's all based off prerogative, so not really fair. So back on track. So can we get back to the history stuff?
Totally. It's my turn now.
Maybe.
Shit,
But
you
I
got
have
to
a
talk for
question.
like 2 seconds, and
I
you
have a
like gave
question
us
for
like
you.
Billy
And
Crystal, all your
then-
daughters. They're like, Pete, now it's your turn again.
It's true because I have a question.
I'm exhausted.
And I always have a question.
What?
Did the Oscars run every year consecutively?
Oh my God, you always ask this question.
I do because it's fascinating. Like,
Okay,
did it
fine.
run through the war, the pandemic, and all the other stuff, or was it like the Rose Parade and it got canceled a few times?
Love
So we
your
just kind of
consistency.
pretend
You're
like
super consistent. Like, I'm going to ask all the same questions all the time. Okay. Yeah. So
fascinating. What do
okay,
you want?
You're going to love this. It's never skipped a year since it started.
Wow.
It's never been canceled.
Well, and I guess there was
Capital N, never.
there was all this talk about whether or not it'd be canceled with all the fires this year,
I know.
and they decided not to.
You know what? I'm telling another canard. Just kidding. Okay. But it did get postponed a few times. So not for the reasons you would think, though.
Huh? So
Interesting
not
enough.
COVID? Because I feel like COVID would do
Okay,
it.
yeah, well, I lied. Okay, sorry. Yes, for COVID. Damn it. It was delayed for like 2 months. But other than that,
But then I remember everyone being like, super upset.
yeah, but
about the
okay,
COVID
so that
things,
so to
right?
get yeah, COVID was a thing. You just called me out, and I didn't mean to do that on purpose. I was thinking of the other ones. Okay, but the other three were not because of the pandemic or anything.
What were they for?
Okay, so the first time was in 1938 due to what was called the Great Flood of 1938 in LA. I guess it was like a pretty big deal because we didn't have enough infrastructure to handle like all the rain pouring down all over the streets of LA. Or I don't know, maybe we had dirt roads or whatever they had back then. I don't know. So it got postponed a week until they cleaned up all the shit and got things like moving again. It's so random. I didn't even know we had a great flood of LA in
I was just gonna
1938.
say, I think we have a new podcast.
Right. Let's go. Okay. The next time was in 1968 after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Rest in peace. R.I.P. They postponed it 2 days out of respect for MLK. And even then, when they went through with it, it was like a super, super somber occasion.
I can imagine because I wonder what the tone will be like this year.
Oh, like with the fires and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally right. Okay. And the most recent one before COVID, the third one was in 1981 after, if you remember, the attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan when it was delayed only 24 hours. Because apparently you have to die to get a 2-day postponement like Martin Luther King. If you're only maimed like Ronald Reagan, it's just a 1-day postponement. But it's a 1-dayer.
Oh my God.
Right.
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop it.
Well, I mean, but seriously, like, I don't know, like, Martin Luther King gets Martin Luther King should have got like at least a week or two.
I mean,
out of
I'm more
reverence.
amazed on like the
Let's be
time
honest.
is so small. Like,
Ronald
so
Reagan gets
short.
right.
That's
Ronald
awful.
Reagan gets a day. They're like, oh my God, he's dead. No, he's not dead. We're good. Okay. Anyway,
Okay, I'm gonna switch gears on you again.
of course you are. I
Yes.
love that.
I know.
At least you keep it like going, right? Like I appreciate. that
hopefully.
you- yeah.
Hopefully,
Because
hopefully.
otherwise, I'm just sitting here droning on about this random shit, right? Go.
Well,
Go.
you said it, not me.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so if we're doing an episode on the Oscars,
Yeah.
then we got to talk about some of the controversies, right?
Oh, we said we would never do that. That's
I
true.
mean,
Damn
so
it.
then maybe just a little bit.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
we could do
so
it. We could do like a little.
Okay, fair. So
Right.
why don't you then tell me when the Oscars started getting all political? Was it always like that, or is this like something newish? Because it is like hyper political.
New. I love newish. Is it newish? Okay, it's Hollywood.
And by newish, I mean like, within the last
yeah.
2000s?
Dude, totally.
Before then?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's very new or anything. There's always been like drama in Hollywood one way or the other. It's freaking Hollywood. It's Hollywoodland, people. But since our show is about only remembering snippets of info to make us cultured, right? Then one could argue the Oscars kicked into high gear, politically anyway, at the 1973 Academy Awards when Marlon Brando won Best Actor for The Godfather. The Godfather. But sent Sacheen Littlefeather, self-proclaimed White Mountain Apache, to decline the award on his behalf to protest Hollywood's treatment of indigenous peoples. Shout out to our Indigenous Peoples app. Except, fun fact, in 2022, Jacqueline Keeler interviewed Littlefeather's sisters and was able to debunk the whole thing and found out that Littlefeather was Mexican. She wasn't even Indian. And also, by the way, another fun fact, she posed for Playboy. So there's that. And I'm not saying that doesn't make you credible or anything. I'm just spitting facts. Sacheen Littlefeather says she's a White Mountain Apache, goes up on stage, makes this giant political statement, then apparently shows her tits in Playboy and is a Mexican. So there's that.
That's crazy.
Totally debunked.
That's crazy.
Right?
I mean,
And by the way, that's not even a canard. That's like a real story. That's like serious shit right there.
you were going so hard with
Okay.
the word of the day today.
Let's go. Somebody's got to. And by the way, we said we were going to like keep track. I'm like winning like
Oh,
100 to
yeah,
5.
you're done.
Like it's not
You're
even
done.
funny.
I could never.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know why you ever thought this was a competition to
Okay,
begin with.
well-
Okay, but that whole story reminds me of the whole 2015 thing. You know, with the hashtag Oscar so white thing. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I guess it started, or I guess restarted, the whole debate over diversity in Hollywood. And now it just seems like everyone has something to say when they're standing up there and they win.
God, yes.
And I get it, but it also kind of drives me nuts because it feels like it's just come so far from what it was.
Oh, seriously, it's hard to watch sometimes. So much ego. But then every once in a while, you'll get like something amazing and you're like, oh shit, that was like really pointed or really good. And then you can appreciate it again.
But wait, now I want to know.
Want to know what?
Like which ones?
Oh, like which ones I think are like awesome?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Halle Berry. Okay, you remember Halle Berry. First black woman to win Best Actress for Monsters Ball.
That was a good one.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yep.
And so I have her quote because I looked it up. I quote, "This moment is so much bigger than me. This is for every nameless, faceless woman of color who now has a chance because this door tonight has been opened."
It was magnificent.
It was chilling.
Yeah.
I loved it. Okay.
But see, do you think that's really like such a political statement?
No, I do think it's a political statement. Yes. I mean, well,
Okay.
yeah, like they
I
make
feel
all
like
sorts. They
that's-
make all sorts of statements. Some are about diversity. Some are about politics. Like,
Sure.
yes, yes.
But this is more of like,
Okay, fine. I'm using platform.
okay, platform.
I'm just using. Okay, sorry,
okay.
sorry.
Okay.
Fair. You did ask me politics, and I'm going platform. Okay, another one. Tom Hanks. He won Best Actor for Philadelphia, and he said, and I quote, "I know that my work in this case is magnificent." Do you remember Philadelphia? Like the movie about the guy who died from AIDS. Okay. Anyway, it was. I would honestly highly suggest you watch it. It was excellent.
Add it to my list.
Right, I know. Okay. Anyway, I know that my work in this case is magnified by the fact that the streets of heaven are too crowded with angels. We know their names. They number 1,000 for each one of the red ribbons that we wear here tonight. They finally rest in the warm embrace of the gracious creator of us all. Like, super thoughtful, super well done, making a pointed statement about just, I guess, AIDS in general. I guess for shout out to the whole LGBTQ like community. Like, it was awesome at the time, even though right now I can't stand him.
I have nothing to say to that.
Right? What do you
That was
think?
awesome. I mean, I love when it like pulls in what the actual movie was about.
Yeah. Oh no,
And-
that's when I
and,
like
like,
them. Right. Instead
They
of like
recognize, right, that their story and the reason
instead
why
of
they
being
won.
egomaniacs. Correct.
Right. Like
Uh-huh.
it was about something bigger than just that.
Correct.
That's
I
awesome.
know.
Okay, well then you have the polar opposite though, because James Cameron, when he won for Best Director, right, for Titanic.
Oh yes.
Remember he runs up on the stage, total idiot, and screams, "I'm king of the world," which I totally get that he was trying to be funny, but it kind of came off arrogant and a little too like self-congratulatory to the audience.
Oh my God.
And,
No, it was
you
like
know,
he was trying
Titanic
so
was
hard.
Such
I know.
an epic.
And he was trying to be funny. Well, it felt like
So out of touch, right?
Yeah,
Because again,
yeah.
Titanic was such like
Yeah,
an epic moment
Okay.
in history.
shit. Enough with the speeches though. Can we move on? I have an idea.
Okay, fine.
Okay, can we go through the top 5 like most iconic moments in the history of the Academy Awards?
Yes, but
Like-
only if I can start.
Like it could be anything. Yeah,
Only if I can
that's
start.
fine. It's just like whatever felt like massive. No rules, just whatever's
Yes.
massive. That's
Because
what
the
she
only
said. But
one
yes.
that's like still
Okay.
stupid.
Okay, sorry.
It's the only thing that like is in front brain, right?
Go.
Of what it was.
Go.
When Will Smith slapped the shit
Oh, of
out of
course.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, duh. Right. I knew you
I
were
mean,
gonna
come
go there.
on.
Right?
Rock made the joke about Jada's shaved head.
Yeah, I know.
And then somehow they let the show go on, and Smith ended up winning Best Actor for King Richard and gave this super emotional speech. But the shit had already hit the fan, and everyone was laughing at the Academy for not handling it immediately. And it was just like a shit show.
I couldn't watch.
Like, how could you do that?
The fact that he didn't get kicked. So go back to the whole thing with the red carpet and like people getting naked
Double
on the red
standards.
carpet. Right, double standard. This was the same problem. Yeah. Bitch slaps Chris Rock, sits back down, and the fucking goes on.
Like it was okay.
Right.
Like
and
we're
then,
gonna
and
let
then, and then
physical
they let him,
violence
and then they let him win.
Uh-huh.
And then instead, at that point, even if they let him win, I would have been like, oh, it goes to Will Smith, but you know what? We're not going to have Will Smith come up on stage. Then he comes up on stage, and I don't know if you remember, he talked forever. Like, don't get me started. Obviously, I'm like, oh, I completely agree with you. A whole moment. Okay, my turn. Can I go?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go with the whole like biggest screw up ever. La La Land Moonlight, if you remember, for Best Picture. They screwed it up. Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway were handed the wrong envelope and accidentally announced La La Land as Best Picture.
But it wasn't even nominated.
Yes, it was. Oh, no, it totally was. Yeah. And all the La La Land people stood up and they were like getting a hug. They were hugging and doing all this thing. And then, oops, my bad, yo. Yeah, Moonlight, right? Like they just
But who screwed that up? How do you screw that up?
They handed the wrong envelope to like somebody on stage. Like whatever. I guess they have all the envelopes pre-printed. Yeah. I don't know.
You would think like on the front of the envelope it would say.
Yeah.
Best movie.
You would think so, right?
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's unbelievable. Okay. Can we do like one more each?
Sure. I said 5.
Yeah. Okay, 4. Shut up.
Okay,
go.
4.
It's your turn.
Okay.
Do 4. It's your turn. Go. Do you have another one loaded?
I do.
Okay, go. What do you got?
So I thought the whole Ellen DeGeneres selfie thing was pretty awesome.
Wait. What? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, that was the one with Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
That's how. Well,
totally.
That's how it started anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so if you remember, she grabs Meryl Streep and said she wanted to take a selfie and go viral, but then saw Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Brad Pitt, I think was in there too.
Yeah, Julia Roberts too. Like, yeah.
Totally. And a couple other people were shoved in there too, like Jared Leto. And she puts them all in the aisle and they took the selfie and it broke the internet. And it was awesome. It was super random.
But if I remember right, like it got some flack for like the whole idea of like celebrating Hollywood's elitism. Like, oh, look it up. It was amazing. I remember this picture.
I mean, yes, but isn't that exactly what the Academy Awards is? It's celebrating Hollywood's elitism.
I know, but it's like that's the James Cameron problem. Like it's like, I get it, but like
that's true.
You have to have some humility.
But like selfies.
So let's start
it was
with
a moment
let's
of the
start
era.
with her intention was pure. Because it was just going to be her and Meryl Streep. Like, I remember this. She's like, oh, let's take a selfie. And then she was like, oh, wait. And that's where she blew it. Because she's like, go. And then she didn't even ask people. There were people that just started jumping up. Like Jared Leto and like, I think Julia Roberts. I think people just started getting in it.
Right.
And that's when it was like, okay, enough's enough already. Yeah. Like, it was kind of dumb. All right. Anyway. All right. And since we already talked about Sacheen Littlefeather, my last one, I'm going to end then with Michael Moore and his whole anti-war speech after winning Best Documentary for Bowling for Columbine. He used his platform to shit all over then President George W. Bush and the whole Iraq war with the now famous scathing words. Yeah, you heard me. I said scathing, people. Shame on you, Mr. Bush. And that totally silenced the audience. It was a lot. There was a lot going on there. Okay, back on track, people. All right, so we talked some lore. Now it's time to talk about the future of the Oscars. Like, where are they going from here? And since I did all the general history stuff, it's time you do a little predicting, please.
Oh, I love to. Because I love to just like pull shit out of my ass.
You are a good predictor.
Fair. Okay. Well, let's be real though.
What?
The Academy has been sweating a little lately because ratings are dropping. People are complaining it's too long. And like, don't even get started with the whole who's hosting drama every year. I mean, it's just a bunch of disappointment all the way around.
What's the big plan here? How are they going to like keep this whole 100-year-old tradition relevant now that we got TikTok and kick-ass streaming all over the place?
I mean, they're definitely going to have to shake things up for sure, and in like a big way, because they have to appeal to younger audiences.
Shake it up.
Not like that though.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
not Taylor Swift. She's not. We're
you're
not
going to see.
Wait, Swiftie? That'd be Grammys, right?
Grammys.
Grammy. Okay, sorry, my bad, y'all. Go ahead.
Okay, well, that means more diverse nominees, more genres getting love, like superhero movies and horror flicks, and definitely shorter speeches for sure. Or no one's going to watch. It just kind of drones on.
It is totally drony. You know what it's like? It reminds me of Brad Pitt in Moneyball. Did you see Moneyball?
I did. Yeah, it was one that I did see.
Adapt or die,
Right?
baby.
Yep.
Adapt or die.
Absolutely.
I love it. Let's go, Brad Pitt.
Absolutely.
Okay, fine.
And they're also starting to lean into the whole streaming thing. Like movies from Netflix, Hulu, and Apple TV are now legit contenders, which
Seriously?
also blows my mind.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I love
but,
that.
mean, they put so much work into them. They should be, right?
Amen.
Okay, and the Academy's finally admitting that not everyone watches movies in a theater anymore. So it's shocking, I know. And
Well,
we're
good
in
for
that,
them
like,
to catch up like 10 years too late.
yeah, we're in this historical moment of
But
it
wait,
all
hold
shifting.
on. What about this whole like movie magic thing? Like, right? Like, isn't the Oscars supposed to be about like the big screen experience?
I mean, sure, but again, we're in this like historical moment where that's all shifting. And so they're trying to balance it. Like they're all about celebrating cinema, but they're also embracing the fact that streaming is the future. And let's be honest, some of the best stuff right now is coming from streaming platforms. Like everything you watch is on a streaming platform.
Yeah,
When's the last time you went to the movies?
Well, I like going to
Right?
movies.
So it's kind of one of those, if you can't beat them, join them situations.
Okay, that makes sense. But like, what about the ceremony itself? Like, is it still going to be like a 3-hour freaking snooze fest?
Okay, so here's the tea. They're experimenting. Shorter run time, more interactive stuff for the audience at home, and maybe even some viral moments that they're going to sprinkle in there.
Wait. What do you mean more interactive stuff for the audience at home? What, like polling?
I mean,
like,
it's going to be stuff so that the way
are we
going to
make a game? Are we going to game show this shit? What do you guys think should be the best picture? A, Conclave. B, no, okay, fine.
Could you imagine though if they gave the voting right to like the public and not to whoever the judges panel is?
We would need Ryan Seacrest. It wouldn't work any other way.
There you go.
We got to have
There
him
you
over
go.
here.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
All right.
Sounds like they have their work cut out for him, right? But hey, if anybody can pull it off, I believe in Hollywood. Totally. They're in the biz of selling dreams, right? Okay. And who are we kidding? If all else fails, they can just like bring back Billy Crystal to host, right? Dude's a legend.
He was a legend.
Problem solved, people. Let's go.
Okay, then. Well, I think that's a wrap. Unless you got anything else you want to add.
Oh my God, I have so much more.
Nope.
I could drone
nope,
on
I lied.
and on.
I lied.
And on.
Take back that
I
question.
could be a energy
You cannot.
vampire and suck the life out of the room right now, people. Okay, fine.
And that would be different.
Just
than
go. Just do fun. Do your fun. Hey, go do fun facts.
Okay.
Did you look up a bunch of fun
facts?
facts?
I did.
Hey,
you
first of all, you know what?
It?
ChatGPT. Did you go back and look at what I asked you to look
I
up
did.
about Hollywoodland?
Did you know that
go.
Hollywood
Okay,
actually
wait. This is the first fun fact. Ready? First fun fact. Amanda, go.
So it all started on the East Coast, and they were all using Edison's cameras. And
they were using what?
Edison's cameras.
Okay.
And then some legal stuff happened, and they were taking all the cameras back. And because Edison Studios was located in the Bronx. So then they all decided to move to Los Angeles, mostly because it had milder winters, larger selection of places to film.
Of course they did. Thank you, Rose Parade.
And the most important fact about it was that it was 90 miles to the border of Mexico in case they needed to flee from Edison's enforcement agents.
Holy shit. That is the best fun fact I think we've ever had.
Super random.
In the history of fun facts.
Who knew?
Well, now like I feel like completely inadequate. All of my fun facts are I don't even know what to say right now.
Okay, well, I'll be the judge of that.
They're going to be terrible.
Go
Are
ahead.
we ready?
Go ahead. Yep.
Okay. Number 1. Did you know the youngest person to ever win an Oscar was only 10 years old? Totally. Tatum.
10?
10.
Huh.
Tatum O'Neal won the Best Supporting Actress in 1974 for her role in Paper Moon at the age of 10, making her the youngest competitive Oscar winner in history. Go Tatum!
That's crazy.
I love the Bad News Bears. Did you ever watch the Bad News Bears? Tatum O'Neal was in the Bad News Bears. We love her! Okay. Number 2. During World War II, okay, in case you people aren't following along, 1942 to 1945, the Oscars were made of plaster due to metal shortages. And the winners were allowed to trade them for gold-plated statuettes after the war. So in 1950, this guy Harold Russell, who won 2 Oscars for The Best Years of Our Lives, traded his in for the gold-plated kind and then subsequently sold one of his statuettes for $1. $1 to help cover his medical expenses.
How is $1 going to help?
It was 1950. What do you want me to say? I think it helped.
That's crazy.
I think he had hemorrhoids. I don't know.
That's
okay,
crazy.
that's my fun fact. Okay, number 3. At the 2003 Oscars, Adrian Brody, who, mind you, I love, received a 6-minute standing ovation after winning Best Actor for The Pianist.
I mean, that was an incredible.
You did? Okay, I just
incredible
rewatched
film.
it. Let's go, Pianist. It still clocks as the longest standing ovation in Oscar history. And that's right after he totally made out with Halle Berry on stage and freaked her out. I don't know if you remember that. It was super rando. And talk about misogynistic. Like, she wasn't even ready for it. It was so uncomfortable. He totally made out with her. Go look that up.
I don't remember that. I don't.
So
do not remember
when
that.
he won, he walked up on stage,
She was presenting?
She get presented and gave him the Oscar.
Wow.
Like, well, you know what I mean? Like, presented the award.
Yeah.
And he just grabbed her and started making out with her. And like when it was over, you saw her face, and she handled it like a star.
Double standard. Talk about that.
Absolute double standard. It was don't get me started. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Unbelievable.
Why do we celebrate these people again?
I don't know.
Okay.
Right? Like, seriously, because The Pianist was an excellent movie. Okay. Number 4. Only 3 films in history have won what you call the Big 5 awards: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Screenplay. Any idea? Why am I asking? Right.
No,
like, this is like
no.
deaf ears. Okay, fine. It happened one night in 1934. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. 1975, best movie ever. Go Jack Nicholson. It ain't a nickel martini. Best line ever. Silence of the Lambs. Please say you watched Silence of the Lambs. Holy shit, right?
The lotion in the basket.
Yes. Put the fucking lotion in the basket. That was totally nuts. Totally well-deserved. I love that one. Oh my God. Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins. That was excellent. It still freaks me out. I still watch that movie and she totally shit my pants.
I mean, it's so crazy that those are the 3.
Those are 3.
That got the Big 5.
It happened one night. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Silence of the Lambs. People, iconic. Go watch them all. Okay. Number 5. The Oscar was almost called the Iron Man, right? Probably because he was so buff. Before setting on the iconic design of the knight holding a sword, the Academy considered naming the award Iron Man instead of the really boring Academy Award of Merit. Thank God for Margaret Herrick, right? And her good old Uncle Oscar for being totally hot. She totally saved the day. Let's go.
So random.
Right? I know. She had a crush on him. I think so.
Random.
It's sort of weird. Okay, number 6. The shortest Oscar speech in history was just 2 words. Oh my God. Why couldn't they all be like that? In 1952, William Holden won Best Actor for Stalag 17. His entire acceptance speech was, are you ready for this, Amanda? Thank you. That was it. It remains one of the shortest speeches in Oscar history. Oh my God, we need more.
Sometimes less is more.
Of this guy
Less
nowadays.
is more.
Right. Okay. And finally, last one. Did you know that a dog once won an Oscar? A dog. I have never won an Oscar, but a dog.
Like a
apparently
dog
won.
dog.
Yeah, the dog.
Huh.
Yeah. In 1939, Terry the dog, who played none other than Toto in The Wizard of Oz, was awarded a special Oscar for her performance. She even had a paw print ceremony at Grauman's Chinese Theater.
All right, I'm obsessed. Those
Go.
are great picks. Good job. You nailed it.
Thank you.
As always.
Well, I'd like to thank the Academy.
Well played. Well played.
Right.
Okay, well, before we wrap it up, why don't you hit us with a recap? You know, the part where we frantically write everything down so we don't miss anything, so that way we can always have our little takeaways and we can play it out in real life.
Okay, fine. Let's do this. Are you ready?
Let's
go. First things first. If you haven't already, go watch some classic Academy Award-winning films. Seriously, we just talked about like a bunch of them. Casablanca, The Godfather, Parasite. I love Parasite. All of them. Really, I really don't give a shit. All the best pictures deserve your attention. I'm not saying you're going to love everyone. Like, relax. But at least you'll sound cultured at your next dinner party. And that's the whole goal, people. Remember, okay, fine. Second, go support your local indie theaters, right? The Oscars are all about celebrating art, the art of filmmaking. And small theaters are the lifeblood of that culture. Go up to Santa Barbara. There's some awesome, like, film festivals up there. And third, if you're really into the Oscars, host a viewing party at Amanda's house or start a film club or even try your hand at predicting the winners. It's a fun way to engage and maybe like impress your friends with your film knowledge. Okay, finally, here are a few key details to drop at your next party to sound like a total film buff. The Academy Awards, or AKA, as we now know them familiarly as the Oscars, started in 1929, making it over 95 years old. It was created by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences to honor our outstanding achievements in film. The first ceremony was a private dinner with only 270 guests, and tickets cost $5. Fast forward to today, and it's one of the most watched television events in the world. Number 2, the Oscar itself stands about 13.5 inches tall and weighs about 8.5 pounds and is made of gold-plated bronze. The design features a knight holding a crusader sword standing on a reel of film with 5 spokes representing the original branches of the Academy: actors, directors, producers, technicians, and writers. Okay, number 3, we talked about the shortest speech in Oscar history, but the longest speech in Oscar history goes to Greer Garson after winning Best Actress for Mrs. Miniver in 1943. It was clocked at 5.5 minutes long. After that whole nightmare, the Academy implemented the 45-second rule and the whole music to like play people off stage. Thank God for Greer Garson for screwing that whole thing up. We love you because now it's only 45-second speeches. And finally, there's a tie for the most awards won by a single film. You want to guess?
Yeah, I do.
What?
Titanic, because I think it won everything that one year.
Okay,
right?
Yeah. So that's, it's on the list.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the ties. I wish it wasn't, but it is. Okay. Well, actually, that was a good movie, though. I like Titanic.
It was the first moment where everyone clutched their pearls.
Oh my God. Oh, I was clutching my pearls way before then. Okay. Ben-Hur in 1959, Titanic in 1997, and my favorite, thank you very much, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King in 2003. All hold the record for the most Oscars won by a single film. Guess how many?
Ooh. 9?
Not close. 11 each.
Oh.
11. Return of the King is the only one
11.
to win in every category it was nominated for. They went 11 for 11. Total blowout.
I feel like I need to rewatch that one.
Oh my God, it's amazing. That's all I watch it every year. Okay, you're officially ready to party, people. We're done. We out. Go for it. Close us up, Amandita.
Alrighty then. And there you have it, fellow listeners. The story of the Academy Awards, or as we just learned, the Oscars. Just think, the next time someone mentions watching the ceremony, you'll know there's so much more to it than red carpets and golden statues. You might even be able to say, hey, actually, did you know it all started as a small dinner party to honor the best in film?
Yes, let's go.
The Oscars are more than just a glamorous award show. They're a celebration of cinematic artistry, storytelling, and the enduring magic of movies. From its humble beginnings in 1929 to today's global spectacle, it's a story that reflects the evolution of filmmaking and the power of creativity to inspire and connect us all. So if we've done our job right today, you're leaving Sorta Sophisticated, ready to drop some fun facts. And hey, Pete.
What?
I got another one for you.
You got another fun fact?
I do.
What do you got?
This one's going to impress your friends.
What?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Did you know the biggest snub in Oscar history was that Alfred Hitchcock never won an Oscar?
Holy shit, no. Seriously? How did I not know that?
I don't know.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
your
terrible.
Mind. Blows your mind. And it'll blow everyone else's too.
That's a shame. People, that's the only one you need to remember.
Right?
I love it.
Make sure you remember it. All right. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review. And
Come on, people. Leave reviews and subscribe. We need listeners.
Peter.
Sorry, go ahead. Share it with anybody who loves film, history, or just a great story. Until next time, stay curious and inspired and keep celebrating the artist's cinema, people.